Hi, this is James Eng of Old Capital, and I'm here with Jeff King of Ramey King. Jeff, thanks for jumping on. And maybe to kick it off, give people a little bit of your background and what you guys do.
All right, James, thanks. We're glad to be here. I'm Jeff King with Ramey King Insurance. We're an agency in the Dallas-Fort Worth area and have specialized in real estate the last 25 years. It's something we've always had a lot of activity. We're in a college town where it started, so there's always been plenty of apartments, but hopefully bringing 25 plus years of experience to the clients.
So you guys are an insurance broker. You're based here in Dallas, Fort Worth. I guess maybe explain what you guys do exactly.
All right. As a broker, we represent a variety of carriers. We're not married to any of them, but we can pick hopefully the best option for the buyer. We also help them analyze their risk, gathering the information they need and to make the best decision. We do have to get a lot of information to get an insurance proposal for them. But once that's together, we can go to the market and pick the best option for them. And also for the mortgage company, there's some unique coverages, as James and I have worked several times, to make sure it's the right coverage with the requirements for the mortgage company.
So what would you say the top, let's say 5 things are that impact your premium as your general partner? You're out there trying to buy 100, 200 unit deal. What impacts your insurance premium the most? What's sort of the top 5?
It's the prior claims activity. Carriers predict future claims by looking in the past. We try to gather up to 5 years of claims information. That can be a little difficult to get. We can help walk through the process. Many times for a new property being purchased, information is not available. It should be. Most of our real estate brokers are very good at gathering that as well. So that's the first part. The second would be the details of the property. We'll start with the OM that's provided by the broker, which will have a good bit of information, but the information we won't have and we're looking for is update information. 4 main areas, especially in North Texas, but the age of the roof, details of electrical updates, plumbing updates, and air conditioning updates. Pacific of the stab lock breakers, which historically wasn't a problem, but it has been the last couple of years. But gathering that information, helping them gather it, helping them decide who to gather it from. And the mortgage company will need.
So we got number 1, loss runs. Number 2, property details such as wiring, panels. What else sort of drives your insurance premium?
The other part, the valuation, is something we're seeing right now. Historically, we've been able to use a flat value for some of the coverages, but we're seeing some of these prices go north due to the market, where the prices are going north or higher than a replacement. And so occasionally we're being told by valuation from the mortgage company, depending on the loan amount, what value we need to insure the property. Doesn't happen all the time, but it's something just to be aware of. See it probably more so in the Class A properties. Just that the values for them are a good bit higher than historically what we've seen.
What are you seeing on insurable value typically on most properties now?
Most of the time, with our base, we try to use is $70 or $75 a foot. We're seeing some of the markets move that to $90 a foot. These are artificial numbers, but we're writing the property on a blanket basis, so we're able to use what might be a lower number. But as we, I feel confidently the market value is at least $100. I have seen some of these larger ones where it's pushing $150 to $200.
All right, so we got loss runs, the property details, insurable value.
So
Anything else?
Insurable value. No, that's, we also have annual rents in there, so updated rents and some contents and also levels of liability coverage. We typically have umbrellas for typically Freddie or Fannie will ask for a $2 or $3 million umbrella, but sometimes there's a higher need for that. Sometimes management companies have higher limits that they're requesting. So we gather all that information going in. And of course, not everything is a new purchase. We'll see that on the renewals when you're just reviewing someone's insurance, make sure they comply with all of those. It's not as severe as a new purchase, just in the requirements, but we want to make sure that the client's getting the right coverage for themselves and for their various vendors.
And then, so what are some of the outside coverages? I know sometimes you have your normal property and liability coverage, but then also for like your flood insurance, how much does that run? And then any other things that people should be aware of?
Flood insurance, it depends. We're typically, say we see a 10 building complex and maybe buildings 2 and 3 might be in the flood zone. And so we'll end up rating flood insurance for that. People ask us, should they have flood insurance or do they need it? And to be honest, we can give them guidance. The survey will show the lines for the flood lines. We can look at FEMA's website to get a good working idea, and probably as accurate as need to be, but the insight will be where those flood lines are on the survey. And that'll decide if they need it, if building or crossing one of the buildings. Another issue that can come up is ordinance coverage, kind of a mystery coverage most of the time, but it has to do if a building's in a non-conforming zoning that would limit its ability to be rebuilt if it's damaged, typically beyond 51%. Most of the programs we have that will have this coverage, it's not automatically built into everything. But one of the issues, part of it, it'll pay to make a partial claim, a total claim. It'll pay for the demolition of a building should it need to be torn down. But most people will see, on an older property when they're rebuilding it, if there are ordinance that result in a higher cost. This could be just making a property ADA compliant, or for example, if a property has aluminum wiring, it may be pigtailed, but when they rebuild it, they're going to have to come back and use copper. And the carrier will historically only pay for what it was at the time of claim, which may be aluminum wiring, which you're not going to rebuild back. But it's it's usually included as kind of a mystery coverage that most people get lost in, including most insurance agents.
What would you say as people start looking at properties, what's the best way for people to reach out to you to get sort of initial quote on a deal?
Very easy. We just contact me or anybody on our team. We have our website, rameyking.com, or our main email, info@rameyking.com.
All right. Thanks a lot for coming on, Jeff.
They have a copy of it and give them some. Okay. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jeff. You were saying one more thing.
One more thing about the getting indications. And we like to start as early as they can. If they're just looking at the OM, thinking they might be interested in that property, we can start then. A copy of the OM, and we can put together a good working indication. But certainly once they have an accepted LOI, or certainly once the property in contract, when their due diligence time period is clicking away, we need to be getting started as soon as possible.
All right, Jeff, thanks for coming on. We'll put your contact information in the description, and appreciate you coming on today.
All right.